Are ghosts real? We've all seen at least one ghost movie sometime in our life. And after watching it, it's normal to want to believe that they only exist in movies. Unfortunately, that's not the case, as we're going to watch some thrilling ghost encounter stories that will leave you questioning your existence. I wonder if you'll even finish up to number 1. Here are real ghost stories caught on camera. Number 12. Ghost rattles lockers. Could this be one of those haunted schools we hear stories about? Well, it's the oldest and most haunted house on the south side of Cork City. This video captures something speeding up across the school's hallway as the door gets banged up real hard. The video gets creepier when a locker gets rattled a couple of times by an unknown entity. The ghost must have had a huge grudge towards the locker owners because all of this is just creepy. I mean, why would a ghost just open a random locker and throw books down? What about the caution sign? Well, our ghost anger issues are surely something not to be taken lightly. Number 11. Ghost lady lurking in the hallway. Cats are said to be the only animals able to see ghosts. Well, this can be justified by the reaction of these cats. The security camera intended to record and later watch what the frisky felines were up to during the night, only for the owners to get the shock of their lives when they saw a ghost lurking around the corridor scaring the cats. What should have been a fun glimpse of these frisky felines quickly took an unsettling turn no one expected. The camera overlooks an empty living room where a door is heard slam shut, and then an eerie form suddenly appears in the hallway. A woman with bouffant hair, like a beehive, seemed to float on air before she disappeared. Typical of ghosts, don't you think? One cat appeared to have seen the visitor and hid under the table. If only cats could talk, then we would have known what the cat had seen. It's claimed that the previous homeowner passed away in her nightgown, and that's why the ghost was wearing a nightgown-like cloth. Creepy, right? Number 10. The Watts house. We're all familiar with the Watts family tragedy, right? For those unfamiliar with this, it's believed that the guy went psycho when his late wife Shannon threatened to leave with their 2 beautiful daughters, Celeste and Bella, never to see them again after the divorce. Sad, right? The whole family was offered up just like that. Later, after the incident, he appeared on TV asking his family to come back home. What a good act he pulled. But don't fall for it. The home at the center of the macabre tragedy is languishing in its kind of ghostly incident. During the police investigation of the incident, they captured some unexplained footage on the body camera, which they noticed later when going through the footage again. Upon their entrance to the house, an officer captured what is thought to be a young girl running down the stairs in a dress. That was only the beginning of their eerie experience. Just a few steps towards the mirror hanging on the wall to the right, a figure, that of a woman, was seen taking a photo. This is thought to be the late wife, Shannon Catherine. All this being just the tip of the iceberg. They could also hear a girl giggling, who seemingly would be Bella, his late daughter. But many people believe that these are their spirits. Number 9. Translucent ghost in my backyard. Having people learn from the horror movies that you aren't supposed to go out at night to check what's happening no matter what the situation. Who's in my backyard? Curiosity had him recording as soon as he opened the door, displaying the neatly cut backyard. Focusing the camera across the yard towards the fence where he last saw the motion, a translucent entity dashed away from its hiding place. As many reactions would have been, the camera holder runs back inside, closing the door behind him in fear. The figure looks skeletal, as if the massive bones of a reanimated unknown corpse were on display. It's believed the creature resembles the Gashodokoro, a Japanese folklore creature made of large bones that hunts humans at night and bites their heads off. Is there a chance this could be it? I'm glad this guy didn't lose his head. A less frightened assumption is that it was indeed a dog man. The fact that it stood about half the light post, the camera holder sure did the right thing by shutting the door and leaving it like that, don't you think? Number 8. The Haunting of Lake County. If this isn't a ghost, then I don't know what is. Anyone can know that what had been captured on the video wasn't supposed to be there. Isn't that how ghosts work? They show up unnoticed where they're not supposed to be. The doorbell camera shows a ghost creeping very fast, unnoticed across the street. The supernatural haunting stunned everyone in Lake County and had them rethinking whether ghosts were real. From this, you could conclude that they pretty much are. The mysterious creature suddenly starts running fast across the street, scaring the life out of the neighbors. The gender of the creature can't be identified, but it's no doubt human. A random soul, maybe. Trust me, it's better yet if we know nothing about it. It could be some random soul taking a stroll in the middle of the night. You never know. Number 7. A ghost on the stairs. If you still had doubts about the existence of ghosts, then this will sweep them all away and make you realize that ghosts do exist. This footage of a living room showing what is thought to be a ghost of a small boy. The apparition seems to move from noticed to unnoticed in the room, and not even the cat sitting inside the room noticed this misty figure. Judging from the size and activity going on in the room, it's safe to say that's a ghost boy playing with his toys. The owner noticed the anomaly first when a strange misty figure was seen getting into the house. The house could be haunted for all we know. Number 6. Cat sees ghost in family's house. Does anything good ever happen in the basement? Kathy Gallagher wouldn't dare think otherwise and replied no to the question. Why? You wouldn't believe it yourself after she saw on the CCTV camera a ghost chasing her cat. It was a point of no return. Despite experiencing many eerie occurrences like objects moving around on their own and shadowy figures appearing from the dark, seeing this video sent her chills, and it might as well have kept her awake at night. It appeared to be a black mass emerging from a doll given to her in the 1950s by her mother, chasing Salem, her petrified, cute little cat. Compared to all the incidents that have been happening in their suddenly haunted house, which at the moment made her feel like life was being sucked out of her. This no doubt serves as one hell of a blow. The ghostly occurrences could be because of an incident that happened back in the 1980s, after a group of teenagers possibly used an Ouija board at the house. To date, Kathy Gallagher never goes to the basement by herself. Would you? Number 5. Woman spots girl from the ring sitting next to her. Imagine how creeped out you'd be when you're enjoying your own company at home, only to notice you weren't alone. Esmeralda, who was home alone, somehow noticed a reflection on her TV screen that was sitting right next to her. Wait for it, it gets creepier. Turns out that Thanos was right. Reality is often disappointing. She couldn't see the spooky figure sitting next to her until she took out her phone to record it. There was a reflection of a small girl seen sitting next to her in her TV reflection. Undoubtedly a ghost who appeared to resemble the girl from the ring. I'm certain a number of us would flee from the scene, let alone record. She's pretty courageous, isn't she? Number 4. Doll appears to move by itself. If you collect haunted dolls, one day you'll surely get what you're looking for, and this couple is a living testimony. I can't imagine the trauma this spooky doll collecting couple was in when they turned to their haunted objects museum only to find the donated Victorian doll had explicably moved positions on its own. Given that the doll was sent with no note explaining its background, despite all dolls sent to them having one, suspicion and anxiety had them check the CCTV footage to find out what happened. Alas, in the 20 years of their career, they'd never seen anything like it. The video first shows the toy slowly leaning forward in a controlled motion before its head tilts slightly. Did you notice the doll turn its head like a human? As if the joints are physical. It gets even creepier when it falls and doesn't hit the floor, as if a ghost baby wants to play with his favorite toy and has come looking for it. Number 3. Ghostly figure on doorbell footage. Phil, a resident of Liverpool, never believed in ghosts until this night when he was taking out his trash, and there it was. What he couldn't see in the present situation, the doorbell camera was able to capture. The camera recorded something suspicious when Phil gave it one meticulous eye. It was all there. A strange object went past his head that he hadn't noticed when he was outside. It's not yet understood what went past his head. The only satisfying explanation right now is that it was a ghost. I don't know about you, but I think we should leave it right there. Unless Phil wants us to find out more and investigate his home. Number 2. Dog playing with a ghost. Dogs are the most playful of all pets, and it's not a weird thing to see them play. But after watching this video, I bet you'd feel chills seeing your dog running around alone. Jake DeMarco, the owner of the dog, was shocked when he saw his dog on the footage playing and running around with a transparent white pooch. It was disturbing because his dog Ryder was playing with his phantom friend. He sprinted out to see the new playmate, but unfortunately caught nothing. Having his walls built up high, he was sure that it had to be a ghost since his other dogs couldn't get into the compound. But are there dog ghosts? To date, he watches his footage often, hoping to see his dog's new playmate again. Number 1. Ghost caught on CCTV in a quiet residential street. There has been much captivating folklore about ghostly lights and corpse candles being told around. None of them is as captivating as the real thing. Glamping inattentively, you'd think the light orb is being carried by a person, but when it drops to a lower level, it gives you the idea and chills of a ghost. The suspicious ghost seemingly starts as half man from behind a parked car and ends as a light. The light appears to come from behind a parked car as it slowly moves down. Arguably, the light could have been carried by someone who, for some ghostly reason, doesn't seem to appear on the camera. It's amazing. It's a real mystery why the light dropped. Until next time, adios.